Like I suspect for many of you, the last week has been, put it generously, surreal. I have never let out deeper sighs in my life in rapid fire. In case you're seeing this video farther in the future, just in a timeline where things are better, the US election happened last Tuesday, and while things are not over per se, I can forgive people for feeling as such. It's been extremely hard to feel optimistic for the future over the last few days. And while I wouldn't call what's happening, in my mind, despairing, because despair is just not that useful anymore, it is dread, it is overwhelm at coming to terms with the monumental task ahead of us. But because I don't feel like dealing with that task yet, I said, f it, I'm gonna go fishing. And today I'm gonna talk about how Webfishing became one of my favorite games this year because it made me feel better with my election blues. I had seen the game a little bit played on YouTube, and I saw the usual shenanigans and getting reactions out of people, but it's always gonna be different playing the game, and I needed some serene aesthetics and a body of water to hold my pain in. And I'll be honest, first impressions weren't going great. First three lobbies I tried to join, the host obviously did not like my vibe, or I came at the wrong time at the party because I was booted out of all three of them. So in realizing that this wasn't going to start off as a party, but one that I might have to just kind of walk my way around the walls of, I decided to join my own lobby just to get a feel of the game first. And I must say, without even talking about the chat room function of it first, this game is incredibly peaceful. Not only because it visually looks good, captures the extremely warm and kind of calm feeling of nature and fall, but I also love how easy it makes fishing for you in this game. The bait itself is free, the minigame itself is incredibly simple. There's enough varying types of water going on with rivers, lake, the ocean, in which you can just fish in whatever type of body of water you want to. If for some reason one is particularly speaking to you, I'm more of a river guy myself. The game's obviously crafted in such a way where you can kind of do whatever you might want to do with your fish. You can keep it and hoard a little bit, you can put it in the aquarium, you can sell it and get some money to get some nice cosmetics, or ruin your soul and gamble like a maniac. It's a game that on its own merit, and without the people that turn it into a chat room disguised as a fishing trip, it's actually pretty fun. Feels like a game oddly built around the idea of facilitating conversation either with yourself or with other people. Even by its choice of hobby to focus on, that's what made the game stand out to me. Fishing, comparatively speaking, is an extremely patient hobby. It is one that, unless you're a master fisherman or you're going to a place where you know the fish are just hopping to get captured and filleted, you're going to be sitting in front of a body of water for a while. It's a very contemplative atmosphere that gives you the room and space to just think. Just talk, to naturally follow the through lines of your own thoughts or of the conversation taking place. And so in many ways, fishing is a perfect chat room game. But despite all this nice praise that I'm giving the game, it wasn't all on its own enough to shake the blues off my body. So then, to continue shaking things up, I decided to finally leave my own humble abode and try the chat rooms once again. Now at first, chat rooms kind of feel like the same as whenever you're doing an icebreaker when you join a new group, whether it be a college dorm or a professional atmosphere. Feeling out the area, no one's really talking, seems like everyone's patiently waiting for something to happen. And so obviously I did the best thing that you can do in that situation and started asking people about space and the ocean. More specifically, I was asking people how they feel about bodies of water. Just the feeling. I don't know what prompted that question myself, but given the amount of bodies of water I was seeing in this game, I figured why not just start with what's right in front of us. And to my somewhat genuine surprise, the answers were very earnest. Not long, not elaborate, no one was making an essay, no one was going to be submitting a PhD thesis anytime soon, but simple. Straightforward. Most importantly, conversational. In a weird way, it was the first time since Wednesday morning that I had really felt the tension leave my shoulders as I was talking to someone. Simply put, felt like the first real breath of fresh air I had taken. However, the moment that really hit home as I was playing web fishing and that really made this game not something special personally, even if at the end of the day it's still a very fun chat room. What happened was, as someone was getting ready to leave from one of the first lobbies that I had joined, and I was getting myself ready to leave for another lobby to see how different types of people would act, someone typed this. Alright, take care, don't give up on yourselves. Have a good one, Saga. This is like surprisingly very chill and considerate. Don't give up. It's something I've seen said several times, maybe hundreds at this point, over the last couple of days, in different ways and at different multitudes. Some sincerely, some just trying to convince themselves of the same thing. But there was something about this complete stranger, someone who just also happened to be picking up a game about fishing as a cat or a dog, with no ability to know me and me having no ability to know them, no algorithms that are thrown us in front of each other, no curated feed, that just really hit home. It was a jarringly honest and intimate moment. A moment where, despite a lack of any previous context, there was not a single bit of question in my mind as to why they said that. Similar to COVID, although not because of the potential of someone giving you a whole ass disease that no one really knew anything about at the time, there's been a weird sense of tension, almost distrust of your fellow person. It's very clearly that the results, and specifically the breakdown of the results, struck a very hard chord with almost everybody that I've talked to. It has just never been easier to not have faith in each other. And yet, this random interaction with someone on a game that is, again, ultimately just about fishing, and maybe putting silly expressions on your face as you mow, or give impromptu concerts, made me feel like, no, I can't just trust someone. There's just some dude somewhere else who's also stressing, who's also saying what needs to be said to get up in the morning. And there was something about that connection, about that person giving a unprompted don't give up to a room that didn't even max out at 12 people, that lit a fire in my stomach for the first time in days. Why web fishing is a game that I think is really going to stand out in 2024, despite being at the tail end of it, is that a game that, before all else, really highlights the desire for people to just come together and hang out, to get the pulse, to see what happens, to just be human in a safe way, with active investment in making the environment safe. Considering how easy would it be for a chat room like this to derail itself. I'm not even talking about the 18 plus rooms that I had joined before to see how different the atmosphere was. The atmosphere is different, trust me. But even outside of those rooms where good conversations, albeit definitely fewer, can still be found, in general, web fishing, with its beautiful and calming aesthetics and relaxing activity, provides a space where you can see where someone else is going to take you with just their words. It's a chat room. Now, a few of you will see this video and will see the don't give up words, and you will still, understandably, be all doom and gloom. After all, 3 words and a nice little phrase attached to the rest of those 3 words are gonna stop and directly change many of the things that need to be done over the next few years to be okay, to protect women's rights, to protect immigrants, to protect trans people. And to those people, I want to share one other small moment that happened in web fishing a little bit after I had streamed. One of the first things I did after booting it up again was join one of those 18 plus rooms that I just talked about. 18 plus being that they are allowing a much more adult conversation. Not in maturity, just in content. And as I unfortunately expected with joining 18 plus room, this was the very first thing that I saw in the chat box. Non-black in the US, if I'm being honest, we are trained to expect racism inside any room when we walk into it from anybody. So while disheartening, this wasn't surprising. What was nice though was the immediate pushback that it received. I think seeing this little interaction right after seeing the don't give up message, not even an hour or 2 before, is what really helped my brain get to the acceptance part of what's going on. Because don't give up doesn't mean like go about your everyday life. Don't give up means fight back. Don't give space to the people that are crying, clawing, praying for space to be racist. It doesn't mean waste your precious time on this earth BSing with someone that doesn't want to get better, has no interest in it. But it does mean that if you are in your life and you see someone say something crazy, push back. Or put another way, if they're going to want to take up space with their racism, take up space with your anti-racism. If they're going to take up space with their sexism, take up space with your anti-sexism. Take up space with being pro-woman, pro-trans people, pro-black, and don't give up on it. So here you are, web fishing's fun. And I think it became a surprisingly nice place to process a lot of what's been happening. That doesn't make it the place to process. I'm not saying that you should be unloading your grief on every single person that you see in the game, but if you just need a place to sit down for a second, cast a line, look at the water, and go, web fishing isn't a bad place. And if fishing isn't your thing and you're more of a road guy, check out Keep Driving. That game's really awesome. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. It felt weird to make another video without addressing the gigantic elephant in the room, especially when that elephant was directly responsible in formulating my experience with the game. After all, no one plays video games in isolation. The world doesn't stop existing past the screen, so why not talk about both at the same time if they are especially relevant to each other? So with that said, I hope you liked it. If you checked out Webfishing yourself, please tell me how you liked it. Drop a comment. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you want more videos like this or just general game reviews, coverage, and commentary in general, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching regardless if you got to the end here. Please take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Until next time, ciao.